Hi, I'm Chef Gail Sokol and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're making gelato, and can you guess what type? I'm wearing green. We're making pistachio gelato, my favorite flavor. So gelato is a little different. It's a little more intense because gelato is Italian for ice cream. And American ice creams tend to have more air churned into them, and Italian ice creams like gelato tend to be denser and frozen at a slower rate, so they have a more intense flavor and a little bit more of a denseness on the tongue. So we have to do a few things. I want you to come on over here. In my pan, I have a medium-sized saucepan. I have 3/4 of a cup of pistachio nuts that are unsalted. I whirled them through a food processor with a 1/4 cup of sugar. And I'm heating them up with 2 cups of whole milk. And I'm going to bring that to a boil. All right, you can see a little bit of a green color. And that's what we're aiming for. So you're just going to let this go until it comes to a boil. In the meantime, we have a few other things to do. So gelatos tend to have no heavy cream, traditional gelatos. So this has whole milk, and it's a little bit less rich. And sometimes they don't even have eggs. I like gelatos that have a few eggs in them. This has 5 egg yolks. If you notice, I separated it out of the whites. There's no whites. And I'm going to take 1/2 cup of sugar, and I'm going to put it right in with the egg yolks. And I'm going to start whisking immediately. You don't want the sugar and the egg yolks to come together without mixing. And let me tell you why. Sugar is known as a hygroscopic substance, so it will suck the moisture out of the egg yolk. So come on over here and take a look at what's inside. So while we actually reach a boil, because we're going to temper our egg yolks, I want to show you, see how intense that egg yolk color is? As I mix, I'm going to start dissolving the sugar in the egg yolks. It's an aerobic activity, so be prepared. And then you'll see the egg yolks get lighter. They actually lighten up. And I have this on a folded kitchen towel, if you notice, because it sort of stabilizes it for when I temper and add my hot milk mixture into the yolks. Because we don't want to add it all at once. If we do, it will shock our poor yolks and they will curdle. And we don't want curdled yolks. Look at how the color got lighter, right? Because that's the air that I sort of beat into them with the whisk. So gelato and most ice creams are known as a churn frozen dessert, and they start with a custard. So this is known as a stovetop custard because it's made on top of the stove. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and see how we're coming. All right, we're not at a boil yet, so you want to really get that to a rolling boil. And these pistachios will not go to waste, and I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but you're going to see why and what we're going to do with them. This creates intense flavor. And if you notice, I'm going to keep my egg yolks moving, all right, and make sure that they're moving around so I don't suck the water out of those yolks. What you'll end up with, if you just leave the yolks in the sugar, you'll actually end up with like yellow clumps. And we're going to actually sieve them out. We're actually going to put it through a sieve into an ice water bath later on, and I'll explain that while we create our custard. Ooh, we're at a boil. Come, come, come. Look, look, look. We're at a boil. Perfect. So now we're going to take our beautiful milk and pistachio, and I want you to look in here. So I want you to come on over, and I'm going to temper these. So can you see? Can you want to come around the other side? Don't be shy. And I'm going to add a little bit of my pistachio milk in here, just a little, just to get them used to the warmness of the milk. All right. And yes, I hear my induction hot plate. It's going, we want a pan on us. And we're going to go and put this right back on the pan after, because we have to cook this custard. We don't want to eat raw egg yolks. So I'm going to temper this. You see how it starts thinning it out a little bit, and you're going to put it in slowly. You can start going a little bit faster after you have put in maybe several tablespoons. And you can see that beautiful pistachio paste that we made with our sugar. And that's super fine. And then I'm going to just add it all at once. All right. And then what I like to do is wipe down any drippies, because there will be drippies, don't worry. Little drippies. All right. And then I'm going to put it back on the heat. And I'm going to add this. Look how thin it is, right? I'm going to add it right back in. Right back in, and we're going to cook it now. All right, and we're going to cook it to 180 degrees Fahrenheit. That's because we want to cook those eggs. Now, you never want to let this get to a boil, but I do have a thermometer. If you don't have a bimetallic stem thermometer, such as this, you can just use a wooden spoon, and you want to make sure that the wooden spoon is coated by this beautiful custard. And what's happening is our egg yolks, the proteins in our egg yolks, they're going to help thicken our custard as the temperature rises. They coagulate, right? Proteins coagulate, they sort of join together. And if they get too close together, then they curdle. And we don't want curdled pistachio gelato. All right, as delicious as that sounds, it doesn't sound delicious. So you can see that I'm coating the back of the spoon, but not as much as I'd like. Let's take a temperature. All right, let's take the temperature of this beautiful, beautiful custard. Ooh, it's going up, and it will go up fast. This is not going to take any more than probably 5 minutes. So it is now about 170. We have to go to 180 because we want to kill any salmonella that might be in this custard, because eggs have a chance of having salmonella. And 160 degrees is the kill point for salmonella. So we want the custard to thicken, so we raise it up to 180. If you go much more than 180, you will curdle your eggs. So we don't want that. Now, in the meantime, I'm already at 180, all right? Believe it or not. I'm gonna shut this off, and I'm gonna bring it over here. And I'm going to show you, if you don't have a thermometer, watch. See that? I'm going to take my finger, see? And just put it through. You see how it leaves that beautiful trail? That means it's really nice and thick, and that's exactly what you want. So in the meantime, let me move this out of the way. I have an ice water bath. So I have a large bowl I filled with icy water. I have another clean, dry bowl, custard-free. And I'm going to put that in there, and a sieve. And put that right in. So what I'm going to do is pour this through. And I'm going to show you. Oh, it's so beautiful and thick. And this is going to stop the cooking process immediately. And I should have done this a little bit faster. Whoop. I should have done this a little bit faster. But I wanted to show you how I built this ice water bath. It's very easy to do. And if you find that your water is melting faster because it's a little bit too full, watch. I like when I make mistakes, because then I can teach you how to fix or just dump out a little bit of ice water, and it's fine. So my ice melted a little too much, and now I'm going to pour the rest in. And it doesn't go through all the way, so come on over here again. Come join me. Come join me. Ah, it's beautiful. So you can see, look inside the pan. Can you look over my shoulder? Look inside that pan. And you can see all this beautiful pistachio custard. You see it? This is something you might want to take a spoon later. Just sort of num, 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 eat it. So slowly. See how it's going through the sieve? And this is going to instantly stop the cooking process, because the ice around it, the icy water, is going to immediately stop any what we call carryover cooking. Because things don't stop cooking just because we take it off the heat. They're still super hot. Now look what's still there. Look at all this beautiful pistachio paste. And a lot of gelato recipes and a lot of professional ice cream makers will actually buy pistachio paste. And I have found this is a great way to sort of make your own. So as you see all the custard going through, this lusciousness, I'm not throwing this out. This is good stuff. I'm going to push all my liquid out, and I have this beautiful, yummy pistachio paste. It's got a little sugar, it's got a little remnants of milk, and I'm going to put it in a bowl, and I'm going to save it, and I'm going to mix it into oatmeal, a little yogurt. I can put it on top of ice cream. If you know, instead of gelato, you could put it on top of ice cream to make it a little bit richer, like a vanilla ice cream. And you see how you want to get all that good stuff? And then I'm going to save this because it's literally that good. I call it green gold. So I'm going to put this in here. I'm not taking it and throwing it out. Do not throw this out. I'll be very angry with you if you throw it out. I really will be very angry. Don't throw it out. It's literally spectacular. You'll want to save this. So I'm going to put this in here. Now, I don't think this is perfect just yet. So I'm going to add about a teaspoon of almond extract because nothing goes better with pistachio than the flavor of almond. It sort of brings out the pistachio flavor. So I'm going to whisk that in. And you can see the color is a little, I don't know, not as zippy as I would like. So I'm going to add 2 drops of green food coloring. 1, 2. If you don't want to add the food coloring, don't. Some people don't want to. That's my ice maker saying, you used a lot of ice today. And you can see the green food coloring is not bad. It doesn't make it look really weird. It's not as green as my shirt, even though I feel like a pistachio. And if you want to come and take a look at this, it's really nice. I'm going to leave this in here because I want this to cool down. I'm not putting it through my ice cream maker yet. And you can put this in any type of ice cream maker. Come on over here. Come on over here for 1 second. So you can use any type of ice cream maker, but I'm not putting it in yet. I want to put it in the fridge for about several hours till it gets super ice cold, and you always want to taste it. Taste it now and then taste it again after it's chilled. And I usually try to chill it overnight. And look how nice that's coating that spoon. I'm going to try it. It's got that beautiful pistachio flavor. Remember, when you freeze something or chill it down, the flavors get muted. So you really want to make sure you really flavor this intensely. And gelato is beautifully intense. All right. Now we're going to serve this. We're going to pretend that I put it through my ice cream maker. And I want to show you what this looks like when you're done. You are going to never buy gelato again. So this is my gelato that I've put through an ice cream maker. Oh, and by the way, if you want, you don't have to do this. I added half a cup of coarsely chopped salted pistachios, just to give it a little, you know, a little saltiness, a little sweet and salty. So I'm going to put that in there, and it is denser. It's very different, and it's a lot easier to. Oh, look at that! Look at that! You want 2 scoops? I'll give you 2 scoops. Really, really good stuff. This is one of my favorites and my family's favorites, and I'm telling you, no matter where you go, you will never get as good a gelato. It's absolutely delicious. And when it's frozen, it's even better. It's so good. So good. Oh, it's spectacular. So I hope you try this recipe. Remember, I hope you subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you later.